Hey guys! And you guys may be like, ugh, it's Max again. What's he doing? Well, today we are going to be reviewing Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. Well, you've already seen a YouTube short where I practically review the film. Well, ranking with memes. Well, today I want to give you my opinion. So, first off, the story. The story it takes place years later. Like, it starts off on this set or something, and then the mum, who is that gothic girl from the first Beetlejuice, has a TV show, and then there's her husband. Spoiler alert, by the way. Spoiler alert: the husband is a twist villain in this film. Well, it's a bit of a cliche villain, but anyway, so she's a mum now. And then Jenna Ortega's character, the daughter, who I can't remember the name of, but she's one of the main characters in this film. She's at school, the school that the goth girl went to. I can't remember her name. And I can't remember her name now. Can't remember it. She's bullied at the school. And Catherine O'Hara's character, aka the goth girl's mum, just makes a scene, typical Catherine O'Hara fashion. And obviously that's a bit of an awkward moment, which is absolutely hilarious. And the next part is, I think what happens is there's a thing where, this is kind of like a plot device in the film. Jenna Ortega's father in the film died, basically, and she's depressed about it. She's not really a big fan of her mum. It's that kind of story. It has different plots, by the way. That's one of the plots, and basically you may be wondering, but why is Alec Baldwin or those characters not in this one? Well, they found a loophole to get to the afterlife quicker. I can't remember what they said, but it's a bit confusing. And Jenna Ortega does not believe that her gothic mum can actually see ghosts. She's if you can talk to ghosts, then why can't you talk to my father? Which he's in the clinic thing. But yeah, and other thing, what was I gonna say? Ooh, Beetlejuice. Oh, so then it cuts to do you remember that small-headed guy from the first Beetlejuice? Well, his name's Bob, and it's Beetlejuice's. It's a side character. It's the sidekick for Beetlejuice and Bob. And what happens is there's another plot where Danny DeVito is a cleaner in one of the scenes. Great guy, by the way, legend. And there's parts of a woman's body that were in boxes, and they come unleashed, and this unlocks a new plot. And when she staples herself back together, what happens is Danny DeVito says, "You shouldn't be here," and then she's a soul sucker. She sucks out his soul, and basically, when we hear that, we get the actor of the guy who played Green Goblin from the OG Spider-Man films. What happens is he's a detective and an actor. that's his whole character, and they're investigating every single body that has their soul taken away from her. And that what we find out is that that's Beetlejuice's ex-wife. Crazy ex-wife. And she will not stop doing what she does until she finds Beetlejuice. Then the detective recommends that Beetlejuice should lay low for a while, which sounds a lot like Despicable Me 4, but this is better. And then it cuts back to the overworld, and what I forgot to say is that the father, Goth Girl's father from the first film, passed away on an airplane attack. No, not an airplane attack. From a crash landing on a plane. He crash landed in the water and he was eaten by a shark. Yeah, that's the whole idea of this film. And yeah, and yeah, that's one thing. And when that happens, the manager or husband decides to propose at the most wrong time in the world. Propose that they get married on Halloween. The goth girl agrees. Jenna Ortega gets mad. Then yeah, so like she decides to like go on her bike and start riding throughout the town. She almost crashes into cars, and I was worried that she was gonna die because I was actually starting to like her character. And yeah, what happens is she crashes into this boy's back garden, and he's on a treehouse. This will lead to another plot twist, by the way. Oh, this will unlock another plot. She starts hanging out with this boy who likes 80s stuff, and like has music this and stuff. It says like he used to troll music shops, and it's Halloween. To skip the wedding, it said that Jenna Ortega says that Halloween used to be her favourite holiday because she used to spend it with her dad. You know, I wish Halloween was like Christmas over in the UK. Halloween's boring in the UK, but anyway, she decides to spend her Halloween with him, and they kiss and stuff, which I predicted that they'd like each other. And the thing that happens is, the boy starts to float, and he reveals that he's a ghost. That when he fell off the treehouse, he died. Oh, this is another plot twist, guys. He died in the 80s. Hints in the 80s stuff in his room. And apparently the ghost can't draw the door with chalk. Even though the wife and husband from the first film, you know, the ghostly couple, was managed to do that in the first film without a human. But this will lead to that plot twist. When they do that, what happens is that Goth Girl is at the house preparing for it, and then she dropped her daughter off at the house, and then the other woman asks what house, and then the mum reveals the house and street, and then she reveals that the boy on that street was a murderer, and that he murdered his parents and died by falling off his treehouse. And then the mum rushes to her car and starts driving there. They go through the door. The mum sees, something go through the dad's head, and like it's horrible and stuff. And then she rushes to the room. When they unlock the door to the clinic area, she's like, "Oh my god, no, no, no!" And then, if you didn't know before, she forbidded Jenna from going into the attic, because if you say Beetlejuice's name 3 times, you know he comes to the overworld and stuff. And other thing, so she has no choice but to skip the wedding and team up with Beetlejuice to get her daughter back. And the way Beetlejuice gets into the death area is that he illegally goes to it. Like, he blows up a hole. Like, you know, kind of like illegally crossing a border. But he illegally went into the death world. Then the detective / actor finds out about it. Even though he was originally working with Beetlejuice, saying, like, to lay low and stuff. Now, since he broke into it illegally, they're going after Beetlejuice as well. Beetlejuice and the mum. As they get there, they see the boy and stuff. And I think when the Jenna Ortega finds out that she swapped her life, her actual life, for the ghost life, now the murderer is free to go back to the overworld and continuing his murdering spree. We see the dad who works behind the clinic area. He sees his daughter and starts rushing towards him. And, what else is there? Jenna Ortega is about to be taken to the great beyond. The the soul train to the great beyond. She escapes the train and now she's on the run from the death police. Oh, then the mum and Beetlejuice save her and go back to the overworld. Catherine O'Hara gets herself bitten by snakes and now she's in the death world now. Wow, and now she has to wait in the clinic. And wow, and when they Jenna's dad leads them to a place to get back to the overworld and stuff. And but before the murderer is about to get his stamp passed to get back to the overworld, but the person behind the clinic is Beetlejuice and sends him to hell. Oh, that's a cool, and that's that plot line. I guess that's that plot line over then, huh? And then, yeah, it didn't really lead to anywhere. But then, they go back to the overworld. The mum, they go back to the overworld and they have to get to the church. And I forgot to say, Beetlejuice said that he'd help as long as his mum signs a contract to legally marry him. And guess what? It's the wedding from the first film. Oh, as it's about to happen, we have a little sing-song from Beetlejuice, and then his crazy ex-wife arrives. Oh, and so does the death police. They come to the overworld. Oh, and then we have this cool thing where he's married and stuff, and then the husband reveals that he was doing it. He was doing that. He'd earn a lot more profit if he was her wife. So, yeah, he reveals that he was using Goth Girl for money. Jenna obviously now knows that she can talk to ghosts and stuff, talk to dead people. And then what happens is that Beetlejuice or something opens a door. Yeah, opens a door, and ex-wife and I guess ex-fiance get eaten by a sandworm from, sandworms from the first film. And yeah, that's practically what happens. So yeah, that's the end there. We break our contract with Beetlejuice. And then Jenna's mum has a dream, but there's a bad where she quits her show and stuff, and then Jenna gets pregnant, and then a Beetlejuice baby comes out, and it's like, oh my god. But it turns out to be a bad dream, and she wakes up next to Beetlejuice, but then that also turns out to be a dream, so she's still having horrifying nightmares of him. And that's Beetlejuice. Pretty good film. I highly recommend you check it out. And my thoughts on the film, it's pretty good. I liked it. I thought it was a great follow-up to the first Beetlejuice. Sure, it had a few plots, but that doesn't matter. It's a fun movie at the end of the day. Tim Burton always does his weird shit, and it actually works. So yeah, peace.